have just been blessed to work with the Joe Beasleys and the Robertas and the Dr. Babbs to give service and teach our young children what it really is about to be a servant, to call yourself a Christ-like child, but to be a service to the world, starting in your community. And so I have been honored to hold the positions, to have the opportunity to serve, and this is just an extension of that. And so I am so thankful, Dr. Babbs, for all that you continue to do with our children, to allow me to be that mechanism sometimes, and sometimes to run and catch up with you. and just to be, when Mrs. King and I traveled to Washington on the train, Anita, she had us going.
I can't keep up with that.
I mean, it was like, we're going to D.C. She said, I'm going too. I said, we're going on the train. She said, I'm going too. Right. I said, you sure we can fly you up to? No, I'm going on the train with you.
Want to be with the children.
So it has been my pleasure to work side by side, to be even closer to Mrs. Naomi King has been a blessing. I mean, that smile is radiant around the world. And it will always be there. When she smiles, you can't help but smile too. And the hugs that she gives to the children, and they just love her. And so I just love that part of it, to be able to just be a part of Mrs. King's life, whatever small way that is. It means so much to me. So let me just say thank you. I don't know if I ever say thank you enough, but I thank you for this love that you have shared with me. The inspiration, and I have to tell this small story. I got sick, and I don't usually get sick, but I got sick a couple of years ago. And Miss King found out. I looked up and Miss King was at the hospital. I said, Miss King, you called me. I was just just because you called me, it meant so much. And I looked up and she was standing there at the foot of my bed. And that's the kind of person she is, the small things that make her who she is. And when you talked about AD, that's also who she is. And I can't help but love her, and we can't help but do whatever we can to get this story out, because this story has to be told, and it's because of your inspiration that keeps us saying, we got to do more. We can't do enough. And so we just thank you, Dr. Babbs, for allowing us to do so.
Amen.
I'm going to call on Honorable Sanya to come and give us.
Good evening, everybody. I have to speak slowly and gently so that you understand what I'm going to say. I'm really highly honored to be a member of the board of directors of A.D. King Foundation. The day I was given that letter, I felt at the top of the world. Well, I've been in the U.S. for 12 years only, and I've gone back home to do politics. I'm a member of the city council in one of the local government in Ogun State. I really have to say thank you to you, Mom. We have met many times now, at least for the last 2 years. And thanks for making me a member of the board of directors. When I got the notice, I told Dr. Babbs, I said, am I going to be paid for the air ticket? He said, no. I said, look, the money is going to be $413,000. That's about $2,400 to come down here by air. He said, if you know you love A.D. King Foundation, you have to be here.
Yeah.
So I came 2 days ago.
Amen.
In Ogun State already, and in Nigeria, we had an office already. Many people were asking me, who is A.D. King? I started giving them leaflets right from the House of Assembly. That is how to call it
Same thing.
the same House of Assembly. Okay, where you have the representatives and the senators. Yeah, I started giving them the leaflets, So they said, but we know Martin Luther King. I said, they are two brothers. And thank God we have an office there now
Yes.
with a full signboard. I brought the picture. He's here with me. And I told them I'm coming for the board of directors meeting, and we will continue to make sure we promote what the two brothers had in mind and what they did. We will do it not only in Nigeria, in Africa in general.
Yes.
I promise you that one.
Yes.
Thank you, Honorable Sanya. Dr. King, would you like to say something?
I've already spoken so much, but I'm overwhelmed, overcome, and very joyful. I guess the same thing that I've said about the humility of Mother and Dr. Babs, AD, and everybody, that's pretty much the case for everyone here around the table. And Brenda, I can tell you so much about Brenda, the Honorable here. I mean, even the ones I don't know. If you're here, you have that spirit. So I just love everybody. What else can I say?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You want to say something?
Yeah, Dr. Babs, I want to say to all of you, on the day that we did the recording at Dr. Studios, Ms. Naomi Barber King came, and she was singularly responsible for getting the majority of the girls to actually gravitate toward her. In a lot of the photo ops that we have engaged in, you'll find her deeply embedded in all of that material. And from an artistic perspective, to have an iconic individual just stand in the middle in sweats and a hat, she had the hat to the back, hat to the back and everything. It was such a wonderful inspiration. And Ms. King, I too, very much like my sister Brenda and all of these people gathered here, wanted to say thank you so much. They have provided me with the necessary tools in terms of those letters of support that allow us to be able to engage people and also legitimize what we do. So I want to say thank you so much. My hat is continually off to you for being the example that so many people talk about.
Thank you.
Something that I need to say publicly, because a lot of times you take it for granted, and the little things that mean so much to us. It reminded me of when my daughter Sylvie passed away a couple of years ago, 2 years ago, and Mrs. Naomi didn't know about it. She was sorely upset with me.
She was upset.
She was very upset, but I was devastated. So Brenda Davenport carried me through that whole period. I mean, literally carried me. Dr. McPherson came to the funeral and played the music. And I guess what I'm saying is that this is more of a family thing. A few months later, my 101-year-old great aunt Sadie passed away. And I'm at the funeral home, and Sadie's lived a long life, but she wasn't from the Atlanta area. And I look up in the room, and here comes this gorgeous queen. Walking in the room. And so I guess I'm saying, the work and the servitude that we carry on, but it's also a family. It's become a family, and I appreciate that so very much.
And after your mother, I was traveling. I did not get the word to her. She was so upset with Dr. Babs, all of us, but he was trying to see about you.
Yeah.
But she was.
Genuinely. But we love her for that. We love you for all of that. And my grandchildren adore her.
Okay. Reverend Brinson, please. And then after that, we're going to close Honorable Joe Beasley, and then Mr. Stonestreet.
But Dr.
Let's do
Babs,
that
before, very quickly,
Yes.
the butterflies that are on your program and on her hair.
Look.
Mother, say something about butterflies.
No, she's gonna
She's gonna close. Butterflies, don't forget the butterflies.
Yeah.
I see, look.
You see the one I gave her?
Look, there's a reason.
I just wanted to say that I am encouraged, and I feel warm inside to know that these things are especially being done in memory of A.D. And his family. And I say that, one who's always known and been there. I was just thinking, we were sitting here, and this is not going to take long, but during in March of 1960, A.D. had gone back to school. He come back to go to the Morehouse. And when I was a senior in Morehouse, and I was one of the original organizers, a handful of people organized the Atlanta student movement. So they, we were in that 1960. That the day we had the coordinated sit-ins of 9 different institutions at one time in the city of Atlanta, just caught the city by surprise. Well, we had the Atlanta Journal then, and so the Atlanta Journal, I didn't know it at the time, but that the 5-star final pink edition of the Atlanta Journal that afternoon came out, and I'm the one on the front page, and those Negroes have been put on the front page of the 5-star final, the Atlanta Journal. You know, that anyway, but the point was, what I'm trying to get to was, later that evening, we were in an open, some of us in a cell block together. And I didn't realize, there were about 70 of us, you know, that come from various places. So when I was, we didn't know everybody was in there. So when finally, it was about 9-something that evening, I think Reverend King Sr. came down, and he had a bondsman, he had to be in this open cell. Big old cell block, and he came and he walked up, and I was down near the front there looking. So I didn't really, you didn't see everybody was in there, and because it's crowded back and so forth and so on. So he came in and he looked, and he said he smiled when he saw it. So he said, "I'll take this is a house, the property bond." He said, "I gave to the man, the bondman." And so he said, "I'll take A.D. King." What is A.D. came up A.D. King came up right. He was back in the back there. I don't know whether he dozed or went on to sleep or whatever. But he came back. And we weren't looking around to see so much who was in there because we didn't know what was going to happen. You know, anyway, so then he said, I'll take A.D. King. A.D. came right there. Otis Moss.
All right.
And Albert Brinson.
Leaders.
And no, we weren't leaders, but
They weren't scared, they were really scared.
they
They were
didn't pay that much attention, you know. Anyway, but my point was, and I'll never forget, because A.D. bounded for us from back at the back, right behind us over there. He came out, and he said, "I'll take 3. And he said, whatever else he did in the department, if I can take anybody else, this is my house bond. And but I remember A.D. A.D. was always the one who brought the humor to everything.
Always.
And one of the, in biology, one of the things that I did, Naomi said the story before. Anyway, but when my job for AD was, we would take some classes together, make sure he got through biology and a few of those other courses that were required. So we went down to in Dr. Math class. AD came into class one day for the test, and so we had in the room. So he was always joking with us. So it was one at a time. He had on the trench coat, overcoat, and it had pieces of paper, pins all into the guy. And then, so he walked down the aisle, we had to take a test. He told me, that was nothing on those papers. But I'm just saying, we would do all kind of crazy. There was always something crazy about it. And
I'm like that too. I've always played so much.
I'm gonna say I'm the way. No, but my point was that there was always a lot of humor to him, and he transferred that to kids and other people and all the people who were around him and who knew him. So it's just, I mean, I think of all of this, and I was just sitting here personally feeling it, and I said, I could see, imagine what AD would be saying about all of this. He'd be looking around the room, first of all, see who was here, and who was saying what, who was doing other, and then he'd have something humorous to say. But it's a one way of sort of making a life and a work live through other people across the generation, Dr. Bear. And it's a wonderful thing that you're doing, and by pulling all of this together, and for the blessings that you've helped to bring out for Naomi. Who have deserved all this in the background.
That's right.
Yes, yes.
I'm always humbled to be in the presence of Mrs. King. I spent a good deal of time this year. I guess we went to London together. That was wonderful. to Bimini. And I'm looking very much forward to going to Brazil with you later this year. So, once again, it's my joy to be in your presence.
Well, I'm new to the board, so thank you for having me. And but I'm not new to the King story and AD's story. And one of the things I appreciate most about Ms. King and Dr. Babs is that they make sure that the real story of the civil rights movement's told, and that God was right in the middle of it. And that part of it never gets pushed aside when you talk with Ms. King. So, you know, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the civil rights movement, not so much maybe the perspective that many people have, but for me it set millions of white people free from racism. So when we look at the scriptures, we see that there's only one sin that God had to send His Spirit twice for. So He sent His Spirit in Acts 2 on the day of Pentecost to the Jews. They became Christians. And yet, for Jews to embrace other kinds of people, in Acts 10, God had to send His Spirit again to the house of Cornelius.
Yeah.
Why do you have to send His Spirit twice? Because people don't believe that the barriers can be broken down. It takes God's Spirit, right?
Yeah.
So, for me, it's just an honor to see your love.
Let me say this. I read the book. I couldn't put it down, so I read it all in one evening. So you'll enjoy the book. Amen.
Acts 17:26, of one blood, God made all people. So they're not even in separate races. It's one human race.
That's right. That's right.
It's one blood. She was telling me the other day, and Daddy used to talk on that all the time. That scripture.
That's a courageous statement. That is an amazing statement. It's set, the civil rights movement set a lot of white people free. Ugly history.
That is so true.
And that's,
very enlightening.
What I'm going to do now is, excuse me, what I'm going to do now is this. Mrs. King is going to sign the first copy of the book. So, Mr. Stonestreet.
I'm supposed to get the first copy. Hold on.
Hold on.